Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is the English Bulletin with me, Sushant Dhakal. The top stories first. Government increases testing of COVID-19 suspects. Over 19,000 samples tested so far. DSP grilled for thrashing doctors during lockdown. Nepal Medical Association demands stern action. Government finalizes a list of medicines for treatment of coronavirus. Nepal Army assigned to import the medicines. Japan urges citizens to isolate themselves. Alarming reports warn of 400,000 deaths. And UEFA considering options to end the Champions League season. August 29 touted as the date for the finals. And now the news in detail. The government tested 3,632 samples yesterday, out of which all results turned out negative. The Ministry of Health and Population informed that the authorities conducted 369 tests through PCR method and 3,263 rapid diagnostic tests during the period. Spokesperson at the ministry, Dr. Vikas Devkota, said none of the samples tested positive.
हालसम्म विभिन्न जिल्लामा आरडीटी केही पोजिटिभ आएका थिए। ती पोजिटिभ केसहरूको हालसम्मको पीसीआर विधिबाट गरिएको परीक्षण पनि नेगेटिभ आएको छ र रेड जोनमा गत 24 घण्टामा 6 जना हुनुहुन्छ। यसरी कुल रेड जोनमा हुनेको संख्या 247 पुगेको छ।
According to Dr. Devkota, the government conducted around 400 rapid tests in Birgun's Chapkaya alone. So far, the authorities have conducted 19,332 tests through both the methods. Out of the total tests, 7,240 were done through PCR method and the remaining 12,192 were rapid tests.
पीसीआर विधिबाट भएको जम्मा परीक्षण 7,240 वटा छ र आजको दिनमा गत 24 घण्टामा 369 वटा परीक्षण भएका छन्। त्यसैगरी र्यापिड डायग्नोस्टिक किटबाट भएको परीक्षण जम्मा अहिलेसम्म 12,192 वटा हो। त्यसमध्ये गत 24 घण्टामा 3,263 वटा भएका छन्। यसरी कुल जम्मा 19,432 वटा परीक्षण भइसकेको छ।
The government has increased rapid tests across the country. It has conducted rapid tests in all but 8 districts. Dr. Devkota informed that the government is yet to begin rapid tests in districts like Taplejung, Ilam, Solokhumbu, Dolpa, Manang, Rukum, East Okhaldunga and Khotang. Another 16 private hospitals of the Kathmandu Valley have got permission to operate COVID-19 clinics, informed Dr. Devkota. Prior to this, the government had already prepared 15 hub hospitals, 64 provincial hospitals and 22 medical colleges for specialized treatment of coronavirus patients. According to Devkota, 4,901 persons are currently in quarantine. Likewise, 8 persons in the valley and 95 outside the valley have been kept in isolation.
उत्तर जिल्लाका जम्मा 8 जिल्ला बाँकी छन्। ताप्लेजुङ, इलाम, ओखलढुङ्गा, खोटाङ, सोलुखुम्बु, मनाङ, रुकुम पूर्व र डोल्पा गरेर 8 जिल्ला बाहेक अन्य सबै जिल्लामा र्यापिड डायग्नोस्टिक टेस्ट चाहिँ सुरु भइसकेको छ र यी 8 जिल्लामा पनि हुने क्रममा नै छ।
Out of the total 16 coronavirus patients in Nepal, 1 has already recovered, while the remaining 15 are undergoing treatment at various hospitals. The government has decided to mandatorily test everyone involved in the front line against coronavirus. The Ministry of Health and Population has decided to compulsorily test 4 groups of people directly involved in the fight against coronavirus. They include health workers, security forces, suspected people in quarantine and those who have returned to Nepal from abroad recently. The government took a decision to this effect to help prevent the spread of coronavirus. The Metropolitan Police Commissioner's Office has initiated a probe against a Deputy Superintendent of Police for high-handedness during the lockdown. The Police Commissioner's Office has barred DSP Umesh Lamsal of Metropolitan Police Circle, Maharajganj from taking charge of his office for allegedly manhandling doctors during the lockdown. DSP Lamsal is accused of thrashing doctors who were returning home after duty during the lockdown. The Police Commissioner's Office has summoned DSP Lamsal at its Rani Pokhari-based office for questioning, informed DIG Biswaraj Pokhrel. DSP Lamsal had manhandled the doctors on Wednesday evening. Doctors Sambhu Khanal and Tej Prakash Shah of TU Teaching Hospital as well as Dr. Bikash Shah of Kanti Hospital have complained that Lamsal beat them needlessly while returning home from duty. Nepal Medical Association has also issued a statement demanding stern action against the police personnel involved in baton charging doctors on duty. The association expressed strong objection to the incident, stating that such unfortunate event took place despite the Home Ministry assuring security and other arrangements for the doctors. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The Sun City apartment at Pepsi Cola has been opened after a few days of commotion surrounding the identification of positive coronavirus cases in one of the resident families. The security forces had sealed the apartment after it was confirmed that one of the resident families had members who tested positive for the coronavirus. The apartment has been opened after all the RDT results came out negative for the residents currently living in the same building. Dr. Amit Pokhrel and Mohendra Shrestha were the on-site specialists who had been deployed by the Health and Epidemiology Department for the rapid test. A total of 296 samples were tested and all results were negative. The government of Nepal has finalized a list of medicines and medical equipment to be imported from China and India. The Nepalese army will import the medicines and equipment through the G2G process, informed Brigadier General Bigyandev Pandey, the army spokesperson. Altogether, 76 different items from China and 53 different items from India will be brought in by the army. Currently, the government has a stock of essential medical supplies available for only 2 weeks. Items like N95 masks, PPEs, chemical reagents for PCR analysis are some of the items on the list for the import. The list prepared by the Nepalese army has already been approved by the Health Ministry. India will supply the medical consignment to the Nepalese embassy in New Delhi, while China will hand over the consignment in Guangzhou. However, spokesperson Pandey informed that it is not clear how the medicines will be transported and when. The mode of the payment is also yet to be finalized. Minister for Foreign Affairs Pradeep Gyawali has instructed Nepal's ambassadors in European countries as well as Australia and Thailand to ensure safety of its citizens during the ongoing crisis. Foreign Minister Gyawali telephoned the envoys yesterday and told them to report to the government about the present status of Nepalis living in different countries affected by the coronavirus pandemic. During the conversations, Minister Gyawali told the ambassadors to coordinate with the respective governments to extend the visas of the stranded Nepalis whose visas have expired. He instructed the missions abroad to solve the problems faced by the Nepali nationals in the respective countries and report to the ministry if any additional help is required. The ministry has also demanded a detailed report from the embassies in this regard. The ministry has also instructed the embassies and foreign diplomatic missions to start hotline services to address the problems of the Nepali citizens and to update about the recent developments. The ministry has clearly instructed the foreign missions to operate hotline service around the clock. And now, the news from the economic front. Nepal Agriculture Cooperative Central Federation Limited has started operating a mobile vegetable shop across various places within the Kathmandu Valley. The chairman of the federation, Baishakh, informed that the mobile vegetable shop was introduced to give the Kathmandu denizens some relief from the increasing scarcity and price hike of these vegetables. Chairman Pathak further added that the member farmers had been struggling to sell their produce due to the lockdown, and this initiative by the federation will help them find a market and customers. He also informed that the vegetables are being sold at a cheaper price than the market value from Tuesday. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. Japan urged its citizens to stay home as media reports warned them as many as 400,000 of them could die of the coronavirus without urgent action. Reuters reported that Prime Minister Shinzo Abe came under pressure to hand out more cash. Japan, which tests only people with symptoms of the coronavirus, has so far recorded more than 9,000 infections with nearly 200 deaths. Reports in Japanese media, citing an undisclosed health ministry projection, said fatalities could reach the 400,000 mark without mitigation measures. It also estimated that as many as 850,000 people could need ventilators. According to the news agency, Japan has seen an accelerating infection rate in recent weeks, particularly in Tokyo. The government has responded by declaring an emergency in Tokyo and 6 other areas, including Osaka, and a goal to cut interactions between people by 70%. The measures include a request that people isolate and businesses close. However, there are no fines or penalties to force compliance. The government spokesman, Chief Cabinet Secretary Yoshihide Suga, urged people to do everything in their power to help the government reach its target. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said Russia would postpone its May 9th celebrations of World War II victory, according to media reports. The victory celebrations include a huge military parade across Red Square to mark 75 years since Soviet victory in World War II. Putin decided to take such measures because of the deepening coronavirus crisis, Reuters reported. The Kremlin had hoped to mark the 75th anniversary with particular pomp this year. It was preparing to invite an array of world leaders would attend, but Putin said in televised comments that the event had to be pushed back. He said the event would be held later this year. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. UEFA is working to plans that would see the Champions League final end the 2019-20 season on 29th August. European football's governing body will meet on 23rd April for more discussions about how to complete a campaign which has been disrupted by the coronavirus. It is likely one decision will be to agree that leagues could finish early, although only with UEFA's approval, reported BBC. But the idea is still to finish the season as a whole at the end of August with all outstanding games played. That would mean the Champions League final taking place in Istanbul on 29th August with the Europa League final in Dansk 3 days earlier. 2 scenarios for getting to that situation are under consideration. The first is to play the quarter-finals and semi-finals as 2-legged matches as normal in July and August. The second would be for the games to be played as one-off fixtures after the end of the domestic seasons, potentially condensing the end of the competition into a week-long mini-tournament. 4 of the 8 Champions League quarter-finalists are already known, with Manchester City's high-profile encounter with Real Madrid one of the ties still to be conducted. In the Europa League, scheduling is more complicated because all 8 last 16 second-leg ties are still to be played, with 2 matches involving Spanish and Italian teams yet to play the final legs. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Government increases testing of COVID-19 suspects. Over 19,000 samples tested so far. DSP grilled for thrashing doctors during lockdown. Nepal Medical Association demands stern action. Government finalizes a list of medicines for treatment of coronavirus. Nepal Army assigned to import the medicines. Japan urges citizens to isolate themselves. Alarming reports warn of 400,000 deaths. And UEFA considering options to end the Champions League season. August 29th touted as the date for the finals. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. We urge all our viewers to follow government directives of the lockdown and healthy hygienic practices to keep safe from any infection. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.